and thank you for joining me again. So continuing with trying to use up some of my 12x12 paper pads, I've pulled this one today, Team Prints paper stack. It's quite a thick one actually, but I think that's probably because they're not double-sided pages, so they're all individual prints, but they are what you see around the edge. There's several of them in there. So today I'm going to be doing a more masculine card. I found this rather large happy birthday die set in my craft supplies, so I'm going to use that today. So I'm going to pull some papers from here and prep some stuff up, and then we'll come back. Okay, so because the happy birthday is quite large, I'm going to put it onto a 8x8. So this is a Shopbought 8x8 card blank, and I'm going to be using it as a tent top fold today. I have pre-cut a piece of bright red Lidl cardstock, and that is 7 7/8 of an inch square, so I'm going to go ahead and put that on. I've marked T just so that I know what way round to put it. Okay, so from the design pad I have cut a piece of check which I think looks masculine, so that is 7 3/4 of an inch square. So again, I'm going to stick that on with some Kalau. So I've gone ahead and pulled some of this pattern paper from the stack because it coordinates quite nicely with the check, and I have used some of the red Lidl cardstock for the shadow dies for the sentiment. So I have cut the shadow die in the red, and this actual sentiment happy is in there. So for the happy I've cut it that way, and for the birthday I've cut it that way. I'm going to stick that in the middle, and then I thought I would put this on the bottom like that. So put these on, and I think they look a little bit lost. I'm going to raise them on some foam on there, but I think as this for me gives golf pattern vibes, I found my golf case and clubs, and I think I'm going to pop that down in the left hand corner. So I found some paper from the pad which is brown, which complements this brown on here, and I've also used some of the red Lidl cardstock to cut that out, but again it needs to stand out. So what I've done is I've cut that a number of times. I've also manually cut out a piece to sit behind here. So I've got a piece that will sit behind there, which will highlight these details on the bag, and then I've cut it again in the brown. So I'm going to cut some bits off of here to put on there, and I've cut the clubs in a matte silver. So I'm going to do that. So I've cut the clubs free. I've cut this and this off of brown die cut. So we're going to put that together with some quick grab glue. Back on here first. So I'm going to do that from the back. That's on the back, so that highlights the brown detail on the golf bag. So now I'm going to put the top and the foot on, and then we're going to pop the clubs on. So there's our set of golf clubs. Okay, so let's assemble. So I think happy birthday needs to go on foam, and the golf clubs need to come down here. So let's get the sentiment on first. I am very tempted to attach the sentiment, the birthday, to the bottom of the sentiment. I'm going to use my grid lines to make sure it's straight, and then I'm going to attach the birthday to the bottom like that. Okay, so I've got some foam on the back of both the sentiment and the golf clubs. I'm going to put the sentiment on first and then put the golf clubs on. So making sure my card is in the right orientation. And I've got glue on the foam pads just to give me a bit of wriggle room. So I've stamped a sentiment in Memento Espresso Truffle. Enjoy yourself. So because it's a large card, I'm just going to stick that on the inside of the top, like that. So I'm going to run some tape along here and stick that in. So this is a finished card. All the papers taken from the Team Prints paper pad, and with the addition of the red Lidl cardstock and a little bit of silver mirror, we have a golfing card for a man with enjoy yourself inside on my insert. So I hope you've enjoyed today's content. If you have, please give it a like and consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. Thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.